new course in airplane identification before this is all over.
Correct.
In a St. Louis suburb of Afton, Missouri, is Dan Carberry now with his wife and son at home, and they have been paying very careful attention because Dan Carberry has a son with the Marines in Operation Desert Storm and a son with the Navy as well. Mr. Carberry, what are your thoughts tonight?
Well, a lot of fear, a lot of concern and hope, prayers.
Tell me about your son who's in the Marines and the last time you heard anything from him.
Well, I heard from Chris. Chris is in the Marines. I heard from him the Sunday before the peace talks were supposed to begin, approximately, 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I was optimistic, and I told him that, but he told me not to be because he really felt that they didn't think anything was going to come of it because of Hussein. And your son in the Navy, is he in the Persian Gulf area? Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm positive that Danny's ship is a nuclear cruiser, and I'm positive that he was probably one of the young men involved in the missile attack early in the first wave. Mm. Because they had Tomahawks on board his ship? Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. For those of you who are just catching up, that's the cruise missile that was used for the first launch. Well, tell me what it's like to be a parent and to be simultaneously a citizen and watching the President of the United States and his invoking, really, this country and the call for everyone to rally behind this cause and to know that your sons are out there on the firing line. Well, I've been glued to the television ever since you broke in early this evening and told us what was happening. And with the president's speech, I was very hopeful. I have all the confidence in the world in the president. I'm behind the president. As a matter of fact, back in September, I wrote him a letter and told him that I was behind him, and I just prayed and hoped that my main concern was that it wouldn't be another Vietnam. I lived through that, and I want and pray that even these peace people, that I understand their feelings, but we have to support these young men and women over there. How's Mrs. Carberry doing and your other son? What's his name, by the way? What are their names? This is Ryan. He's hanging in there. He's just concerned. He wants to make sure that both the boys are going to be fine, and he keeps asking me if I think they'll be okay, and of course I tell him that we're praying and hoping and can't wait for it to be over and for the boys to come home. Is Ryan getting some help at school and in other areas as well with questions about this, about what's going on? Yeah, they've been great. School's been really concerned about it, and all the classmates have sent over little drawings, and they've put in a lot of support, and they're sending things to the boys, and so it's been a very strong and positive feeling, and try to keep our fears to a minimum and our hopes to a high. Maybe Mrs. Carberry, she can't hear me, so maybe you'll have to relay this about how, if we could get a sense from her as well about what it's like to be a mother in these circumstances. Well, I can tell you, they want to know what you feel about with the boys being over there and what you're feeling. Scared. She's scared. Yeah. That's exactly what she is. Well, I think that all of us have a great deal of anxiety, and we are very grateful to you for being with us tonight and sharing these extraordinarily personal emotions, and we wish you all the very best, and we hope those boys of yours will be home before too long. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. Dan Carberry in Afton, St. Louis.